Looks like I see people now. It's like asking Paul. All right, have a seat, guys. That's where it started.
All right, Double Juice, welcome. Starting the all call. Today, following this all call, we'll go right into a intel brief for everyone that's in the room. And then afterwards, for the FPs and pilots, we'll have a joint SVP CT. The first one at 10 o'clock. We have our weekly burger burn at 11 after that. And we have 4 promotions later on today. And we'll do that at 1400 and we'll right into our heritage huddle. Also for supervisors, meal of the year is due the 30th. Upcoming holidays, Veterans Day is next Wednesday, and Thanksgiving is the Thursday, 26th, and Family Day is Friday. For those who haven't seen the email from the commander, our holiday schedule for those who don't have the Christmas due period is out. We basically have 3 4-day passes in a row, 96 hours. That will just require each flight to have 1 person who will be on call for all those days, the 21st through the 3rd. After the 22nd, we'll come in for a half day of work. The second half of the day, 12 to 1600, the 23rd, and then New Year's Eve, early release, right to the next 4-day pass. So if you have any questions, you can ask us, but it's in the email. Go ahead and check it out. Came out yesterday. And now the Booster Club.
Good morning. For Booster Club, we have wrapped up the old pre-orders. All those are getting submitted this week. But we are going live today with new set of pre-orders. It's going to be live in 2 weeks. I'll send out an email later, but you can order everything on the SharePoint, and then the email will have the direct links for that. But we're selling the hoodies for $40. If you need larger than 2XL, just come to Booster Club, one of us, and we can work that for you. but the C5 Galaxy will be, it's on the back of the sweatshirt, but it'll actually be on the side of the left arm.
Nice.
And then we have trucker hats. In the SharePoint, you can select the different colors for the hat and then the patch. Next slide, please. And these will be your options. And the SharePoint order will be a little bit more clear on how to order the different colors and patches. Next slide. And then the socks. These are gonna be your Friday socks /
Got 'em.
PT socks.
Got him. Sure
Everything can be on this SharePoint. The only thing is if you want multiple of one, so right now you have to submit an order. If you want like 5 mediums, then you just have to submit one order, select quantity 5. But if you want like 1 medium and 1 large, you'll have to submit 2 separate orders. But any questions, contact me, J-Rod or Sergeant Turner, and we'll be happy to help you.
So the hoodie is PT authorized, guys. I'll go ahead and say that now. So you wear that at the PT when we start again or in your small groups, totally kosher. Okay.
All right, now to hack in the Mish, we have 4 crews out there: Morgan's, Lighters, Fresnel, and Shone's crew. You guys can try to guess where they are out there. And next to Captain Gress for awards and decks.
Hello, everybody. So I'll talk about awards and decks first, and then we'll get into the holiday party. So awards and decks, if you search voting and announcements, you're going to see everything that our department's working on. So first, you got the Q4 and annual award schedule. You can find that there. The holiday party, you can vote on what you want to see for the holiday party, and I'll go over that in a minute. And then Muley of the year, you're going to submit who you think embodies the Muley character best for each flight position, so pilot, engineer, and load master. And you're going to just whoever you think embodies the Muley, so get as much participation as possible. Then for the holiday party, we're going to start selling COVID guidelines on Tuesday. Once we get those guidelines, then Rancho Solano is going to give us the final go to have the party. Tickets, FGO is going to be $80, senior NCO and CGO $60, NCOs are $40, and airmen are $20. And so we're going to sell those all digitally, so that'll also be from your phone. So we'll have the Booster Club's Venmo, and then we'll contact you when your ticket is assured and if we in squadron to do so. Hit me up with any questions if you have any. Thanks.
Anyone will do skip 2 quick things. Always quick. Now is why. SCIF, the last one that came out, talks specifically about adherence to COVID regulations. It talks about mission planning, NODOM's FCG guidance. So if you guys haven't read that, please read that and sign in. I'll sign up in G10s, but I just want to go over a few notes for you. So you're doing your mission planning. Who knows where we can land in Canada right now? So I'm cut to gander. Am I good or not? No, yeah, you're not going to be able to land in Gander. So where can we land? Goose Bay. Okay. So those small little details and changes are super important because I'd love to say TACC's got a 100% solution for you, but let's be real, they don't. So you'll totally get planned to Gander, and then you're gonna be screwed when you land. So take a look at the FCG restrictions. In line with this NODOM is when you land. So who knows what the local procedure at Aviano is? Of course not. How would you know that? Well, in your iPad, actually, all the answers are for you. So if you go to your pumps, all global, it's really kind of a long path there. Infectious diseases, coronavirus, transit aircrew isolation brochures. See if you go to the commissary or not, if you stay in a room, if you go out of your room. So I won't throw anybody into the bus. Let's throw the 21st under the bus. I know specifically crew got like rolled up by the police on the beach in Guam and told to go back to the hotel because they were out partying in the water. So don't be that crew that gets a phone call back to the commander and says, hey, my entire crew is arrested because we weren't following coronavirus guidelines. So please take a look before you depart home station, all the different stops, and have a plan for food and whatnot. So aircraft commanders get with your crews, make sure that that message is sent across the crew there so that everyone is not caught off guard. And the second thing, We've transitioned completely digital pubs. So if you are getting your trip kit and you don't have a checklist kit, that's a problem, right? Because you have to have physically hard copy checklists on the jet. So I get all the load masters immediately following, I'll call to just run over to the pub's office real quick. Sergeant Heitner, his hand. He's gonna give you some quick training on how to get those pubs kits checked out correctly and how not to open the bag with a checklist in them, because otherwise when you come home, you can do a page count and no one wants to do that. So if I just get the load masters right afterwards, run over to the pubs, it'll be 5 minutes. Just run through that process so that it's smooth going forward. We don't have anybody getting called in last minute to launch a cruise that don't have checklists. Any questions for DOV? Awesome, thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Hello, Double Juice.
Don't bite your friends.
This is not your standard general George Patton quote, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute because I know it seems kind of weird. So it made it easier than ever to just subscribe, notify. All right, first thing I'm going to talk about today really quick is the election. Dominating the news cycle, and we're not going to talk politics or party. That's not what we do. That's something internal. We're here to do the job, right? However, I'd be a fool not to think that some people have some deep trepidation about what's going on. It's not a degree. I thought I'd put it into practice, give you a little historical perspective. Contested elections, 100, one vote. There was such upheaval about it that we actually amended our Constitution, and that's where the 12th Amendment comes from. In 1876, Rutherford B. Hayes beat Samuel Tilden of New York by when Lincoln was elected. You know, a big controversy there. All the way up to 2000, Bush v. Gore went to the Supreme Court, and it took a while to get the votes figured out there. So I'm not telling you like how to feel about what's going on, who's right, who's wrong, what direction the country is going in. I just want to give you a little bit of historical perspective that this is nothing new. We've endured, we've gotten better by it, improved our process. Basics, right? There are some things that are so basic. Anyone ever see Yo Gabba Gabba? Got kids? Pretty much for like a 2 to 4 year old range. There's a lot of practical advice and songs in there. Like "Don't Bite Your Friends" is one of my favorite ones. Why am I bringing this up? Well, we're going to take the long way around. CRM on the road. As part of Back to Basics, we're working on our technical proficiency. We're getting better at flying, running checklists. But that CRM is the lifeblood of the C5, 10, 12, 15 crew members, all trying to work together. I'll give you a couple scenarios. So crew barbecue, right? But you got that one dude who tied one on at 9 in the morning, and another little belligerent, kind of falling down, really sloppy. You know, for the most part, that's not too bad, but you know, the things reach a certain pitch, they start pushing that red line, and you start to wonder, can I trust this person in the jet? Or here's another scenario. You're at the bar, wherever, you're at the club, and you see an attractive person down. Down, start to have a conversation. Maybe buy a drink, exchange a few jokes, maybe a hand comes up on the shoulder, and you lock eyes. You say, "I'm going for it," and you lean in, and they recoil. Like, "Hey, I'm not down with this," and you're like, "Oh, embarrassing, right?" What if that person you choose to make moves that going to impact the rest of your mission? So since the CRM is the lifeblood and Kurt Niemczek's going to be running the panel, he's going to have my back in a runway. That unprofessionalism erodes that trust. It adds an extra thing when you have a systems emergency and you're trying to work and there's weather and ATC and shit's going sideways and you're running checklists, the last thing I need to think about is, man, I can't believe that asshole made it past me at the bar. What's he thinking? Like, can I trust this person? Or if you're in the box, you're moving cargo, and then you have that awkward relationship because you stepped over that line. Something to think about. We say we're a family in the Double Deuce. That family's built on trust, which means taking responsibility for yourself and your teammates. If we're really family, you don't make a pass at your sister at the family barbecue. You sure as hell don't do it on the road. Hopefully I'm seeing some head nods, because this is a very simple concept, like don't bite your friends. Don't make passes at your teammates when you're on the job. So am I saying like you can't date people or, you know, socialize with people that you're in the military with? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you're on duty, there's certain red lines that you do not want to cross. And when you're on the road, when you're on crew rest, you're still hacking the mission. You're still actively executing the mission. So I know that wasn't as amusing a topic as I usually throw out there, but just something to think about. If we're getting back to basics, treat each other well, take care of each other. Because when we say family, this is what we mean. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Cosmo. All right, so first off, how's everybody doing? Doing all right? We're continuing with our phase 3 COVID plan. We got everybody in the room, right? He's not on the road or in ROM or something like that. And that's by intention, right? We're taking a little bit of risk. I'm taking a little bit of risk, right? And our number one line of effort is to preserve our mission generation by having you here. Because I feel it's important that we look each other in the eye. We have some tough conversation every once in a while. We also celebrate some of our big successes, which we've had a lot this year, right? Hopefully you've seen my email that I talked about the holiday season on. I'll get that that in a minute. But what you heard from Colonel Kramer was very intentional. Him and I talk a lot. The chief, if we were here, he's at a low mass refresher. Same with the shirt. The shirt's at home with his kids because his wife's gone on leave. You would hear from them as well, right? So we're kind of, him and I are just kind of presenting this conversation now, right? Because every once in a while, you have to have a little bit of a tough talk. You heard me talk about having a tough talk every once in a while as a family. So the why behind this is we just finished our DOCS about, let's see, 3 weeks ago, right? Last week, I got the results. I've already shared it with the leadership team, the Double Deuce. Pretty much in every area that's measured, we went up. It was good since last year, November of 2019. So that's good. But I would lie to you if there weren't some comments in there that caught my eye. Now, by regulation, I am required to debrief the entire DOCS to you, and I will do that tentatively in either late December, beginning of January is what I'm progging out because I have to do it within 60 days of when I receive it. But there was a couple comments on there that I read was like, I think I need action now. I had that feeling. We all had that feeling in our gut, like we need to talk about that as a family. And I realized it's only a couple days old since we read it, but it needs to happen. So there were 4 total comments about sexual jokes, right, in the DOCS that people have either heard it, right, or either said it themselves and regretted it, and they almost kind of self-identified and say I was wrong for doing this, which they were, right? But I just want to like clarify into the next slide that that's kind of red line, right, guys? So if you make a sexual joke, right, that would make you blush, your grandma, your mom blush, your aunt, your sister, like it's probably not good to tell, right? Either in the jet, at cruise, in your workplace, like that's kind of goes back like don't bite your friends, okay? So I know I'm talking to the small percentage of Double Deuce, but I want to say it. I have to say it, but I want to say it, okay? But that's not okay, all right? Head nods, like everyone agree with me on that? Like sexual jokes, bad, okay? The sexual advances piece, right, was mentioned 3 times, all right? And I realized there was 100 total participants in the DOCS, which is very high actually, in a squadron that's 242. That's a large response rate historically, but that's 3 too many about sexual advances. So once again, that's another red line. That's not okay. One common theme with those advances were alcohol was involved, right? I've flown the C5 since 2010, okay? I understand when you go on the road, right? Whether it's a crew queue or you guys just decide to go out and road at ARCOs, like alcohol is gonna be involved. It's kind of part of our culture. It's not a mandatory part of our culture. I'll get to that in a second. But it also lowers inhibitions, right? I mean, that's just scientifically proven, okay? So this is a double-edged sword. So you engage in taking some, or drinking some alcohol, right, and participating in that if you're of age, right? Realize that your inhibitions will lower potentially, right? But you're still responsible for your actions, right? And if you're gonna make an advance, make sure it is very clear between the individuals, right, that it's wanted, okay? But realize that you don't pick up on those nuances, right, when you have a few drinks or more than a few drinks, okay? And then other individual, right, may not be realizing this is an advance, right? Or that they are trying to invite an advance. So what I'm saying, the bottom line is think twice, okay, guys? And if you're that buddy, or that battle buddy, or that wingman who's like, hey, dude, or gal, like, I don't think that's like, go back to the room, right? Or let's go back to the barbecue and not engage in this other activity, okay? So I'm asking each and every one of you to take an active part, right? Don't be just a bystander, okay? If you see something or a family, pull your teammate away. Or be the person who steps in and be like, nah, this isn't happening. That's part of your family. That's your brother. That's your sister in this family. Like, no, that's not good. We got to go down range tomorrow. You know what I mean? And that's just, it's not going to go well. Okay. So I'm asking each and every one of you, okay, head nods again, to be an active participant. Okay. Thank you. There was a couple comments about just some SAPR awareness, right? So what's mandatory reporting? What's not? Who do I call if I need to call somebody? So we have it on the Muley board when you walk up the stairs, right? That digital, 55-inch screen that comes up like every 8th slide. We're also going to hand out some more cards. We've done it before, but it's probably time. We have enough new people in the room. We're going to do it again, so you can put it in your purse, put it in your wallet, your pocket, wherever you have it on you. The DSs, right, are going to send out the professionalism memo. If you didn't know, we had a professionalism on the road, professionalism memo, like what's acceptable behavior on the road for students, right, and those that are qualified. It's an EOI, it's an annex, and we're going to shoot that out. It's going to be on Slack, and it's also going to be in an email. I'm asking everybody, right, to reread that professionalism memo, just so it's clear. Again, I'm talking to a very small percentage that would consider doing something like this, one of these red lines, but I want everybody just to reread it, okay? Back to basics, we're just going to recage on this subject, okay? Alcohol real quick, okay? There were some comments about, this is coming from students, that alcohol is highly encouraged to fit in, okay? And I want to make it perfectly clear that participating in drinking alcohol is not highly encouraged to fit in, okay? If you don't want to drink alcohol, that is perfectly fine, right? And if there's anybody, whether it's an instructor or another peer, another student saying, no man, like in a double deuce, you got to drink at least a shot in a beer to fit in at the crew BQ and crew rest. No, okay? That's not okay. And you should not be pushing either instructors to students or peer-to-peer students to students or instructors to instructors, right? Anybody in the room, whatever your qual is, that you need to drink to fit in. Like that's not what we do in a double deuce, okay? Now, if you want to drink, that's fine, just do responsibility, okay? Clear? Head nods, all right. Uncomfortable talk, we're gonna get to some more fun stuff in a second, but we're not a family unless we have these talks, okay, guys? All right. Any questions on that, what I just said? Okay, we're good. I'm gonna cover some admin stuff here real quick. I took leave last week, right? So first real leave I took since my dad passed away last year. So thank you for covering down. I got personal thanks to the whole leadership team. Colonel Kramer carrying the phone for me, taking care of stuff. Major Hale running all call last week. Major Fernandez running ops as always. The enlisted leadership team, Chief Rapier, Senior Master Sergeant Reinbold, the RMs. Thanks for all the help, guys, because it was quiet, which was great. Got to hang out with my family, just recharge. The Fall Fest. Let me go back on the slide. Okay, so the Fall Fest, obviously, Captain Hunter Howell, Lieutenant Weaver were the big leads on that. I personally thank them for that. Like it was, I mean, that was epic, right, guys? Like I haven't been to many Fall Fest, Halloween, what do you want to call it, parties like that, let alone COVID, right? That we just crushed it on. And it was like an Oktoberfest outside, the kind of the decorated house, carnival indoors, Halloween decorations. It was sick, guys. And we were the envy of other squadrons. I was getting blown up on Facebook. People being like, how the heck did you get away with this? Like, this is sick. I mean, who'd you talk to? Where'd you get the climbing wall? Because they wanted to copy double deuce, okay? That's a common theme. I'll just go ahead and say that right now. So I want to thank each and every one of you that participated to make that possible, right? And with many hands make light work, that was some heavy lifting, Okay, so it required these many people on the leadership team, right? On Hunter's in the room, there he is. Put that team together, right? And it's a leadership test, right? Because that stressed you guys a little bit, right? From a planning perspective, management, but also leading a team, right? Leading a team that there's no tangible benefit, like you're not gonna go to TUI and get some extra TUI money and go see Paris, like you're gonna put work in, right? But the benefit is that you're helping other people make connections, build those relationships, build that morale, right? That we have, it's good to keep this unit tight. So thanks, guys. Each and every one of you, I already talked to Captain Howell and Tyler Weaver about your days off. Everyone else, 1 day pass, okay? I realize COVID has less of an allure, right, than it used to, but 1 day pass authorized, talk to your supervisor, you deserve it, thank you. Okay, I don't think I have any other slides other than that. Oh, and the other piece is COVID, right? It's been 14 days. The FEO, right, so Colonel Murray, the Public Health Emergency Operations Officer for the base, gave us pretty much an overview beforehand to approve it. And he also was doing a 7-day and a 12-day checkup with me saying, how many positive cases do you have? Because he was expecting some from our Fall Fest. We've had 0 so far from the Fall Fest, okay? So again, testament to you, wearing the mask, washing hands, you know, keeping your vigilance up and high. So thank you for that, because that is going to lead us into our holiday party. You saw the email I pushed out, no Thanksgiving get together. That was one of the harder decisions I had to make. But with the risk of potentially, you know, being close together, sharing food, a potluck, it is hard to not, you know, to create barriers to not enjoy a Thanksgiving meal together and not catch COVID. So I was like, all right, I'd rather just concentrate on the holiday party and we'll do away with the Thanksgiving party. Anecdotally, every other officer squadron is not doing a Thanksgiving party either, okay? Not that was part of my calculus, but just anecdotally, like I said, just for your essay. Positive feedback for you guys. OPR timelines and quality, EPR efforts going into the SCOD we just had, and the SCODs that are coming out, the standard closeout days, thank you. That's just coming from the leadership team and the execs. I want to pass that feedback because I know there's hard work that goes into that. The op board that I sent out earlier this week, take a look at it. It takes like 3 minutes to look at, and just talks about everything we do in the squadron over a month and looking forward on how busy we're going to be in November, right? Because the November op board is looking forward in November for job moves, et cetera, and training initiatives. And then I'll put one out again for December. For December, we're going to take a dip in ops, which is historical. We typically do that, right? We've been maintaining at 5-6 RDEPs or 5-6 missions on the road. We're probably looking at about 4 in December. It's not finally rubber stamped yet. Major Hale is at the strategic development team meeting with E3 right now to hash that out. That happens about the first week of every month, just for your essay as well. So we'll have that schedule coming up soon. The holiday schedule, right? So that went really well last year, guys, right? 4-day passes, I can do it, and I'm going to maximize as much as I can, okay? Please read the email. I have some ROEs in there. They're very simple, okay? Talks about a 300-mile ring, talks about having to respond within 8 hours. Guess who remembers what happened on the 31st of December, 2019? I was sitting at Colonel Pollock's house, enjoying a few beverages, right? Some other squadron commanders were there. And I remember sitting around, we were playing a board game, and our phones just started blowing up, all of them at the same time. And we all looked down and we looked at each other and we're like, here we go, time to sober up. And then we were getting messages, right, from our command post saying, stand by for an Iranian response because of X, Y, and Z, right? We don't remember what happened. And we started putting crews together, right? The next phone call was the Major Blessinger. I called him, right, because I was a DO at that time, waiting to take command. And I was like, Bless, I'll see you in the squadron in the morning, bright and early on the 1st, right? Where you're sleeping in because you had a few drinks, right? Or you had a big meal, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's a day off, right? And we started crushing crews out, you know what I mean? Getting ready to respond. Being able to come back within 8 hours, that's like what we did for real. So I'm not just saying that to keep you from going to like Las Vegas. I don't want you to go to Las Vegas, but I'm going to bring you back to go fly, okay? A real combat mission, which they were real combat missions. Let's see here. Holiday party. Thanks, Captain Gress. And thanks for leading your team, right? Everyone I talked to right here, if you want to come be part of something that's going to be awesome, it's going to be epic. I have a feeling that it's going to be okay. I don't think Governor Newsom's going to shut everything down. That's just my feeling. But if you want to be part of this, come see Captain Gress and his team. I think we need to leave one MC. We may need a DJ. Any of the amateur DJs in the house that want to be part of that, come on down. Okay, so we may not have enough money because we're trying to do everything. You know, a free beverage when you come in to include, you know, the buffet options we want. and it's just a lot of money, okay? And that's the other reason why we increased some of the costs. So FGOs, I was the one that said we're gonna pay 80, so we're gonna pay 80, right? But I didn't want any airmen, right? I didn't want any airmen in this squadron to pay more than $20 to come to a holiday party. So that was the reason I was gonna put us in a separate category to basically pay for the airmen, all right? I'm gonna pay for the first 10 tickets of airmen, okay? They're gonna volunteer, so come see Captain Gress. I also need DDs, right? So if you're a student, right, and you're not of age, right, so most of you aren't of age, raise your hand and volunteer to be a DD, because guess what? Your meal's gonna be free, okay? You can still hang out and party and have fun, but I need some people to be DDs, right, to take folks home, okay? So that's a big ask what I have of you, but it's gonna be an awesome party, and you'll go for free. You're gonna be a DD, okay, because I'm gonna pay for it. Let's see here. Talked about back to basics, talked about the DOTs. Promotions today, right? It's another celebratory type day. We got several promotions because people are crushing it. We do have a couple farewells. We're actually one for Gonzalez, which is a bit sad, but he's going to go down to Det 6 down in San Antonio. So we're keeping him in the C5 community, which is good. And then we're going to round up the day and start the weekend off with that Heritage Huddle. Okay, sound good? All right. Thanks for your attention. Tough talks aren't easy, right? They're tough talks for a reason. But we need to have them as a family, right? Because that makes us stronger. I don't want to just have a shiny outer shell, and then when you dig down, we're not there to support it, right? We're not. I don't want to be skin deep. We're tough, and we're a team, and we're a family through and through. That's all I got, guys. You have a great weekend. I see you at the promotion ceremony too. Carry on.
I'll do the tail flash right here. You want to sign it? There's still a little bit of space on there.